Yep.
No, these papers up there.
Linda, would you lead us in roll call?
Ricky, absent. Betty? Here. Sandy? Here. Michelle? Here. Sarah?
Here. And I'll open it up for public comment. Each person will have 5 minutes to speak. Once everybody else has had a chance to speak, we can come around again.
In the papers, the advertisement to elect people, it was said that we want to listen to the public. Did those 4 people really mean it or not? Because the election showed that the majority of the voters didn't want this building put up, and now you're going through with it, keep trying to push it. And the last little article it says in the paper, I cut it out. I wish I'd have cut them all out. I didn't, and I should have. The last line, now we pray for healing and unity in our town. You think keep pushing this for the next 50 days is gonna have any healing and unity in this town? I don't think so. So now I've kind of found out, the rumor was going around, this person lied, that person lied. Now I know who's lying in my mind.
Thank you. Any other comments? Skip.
I came with a plea to this town board to drop this whole building situation now and turn it over to the next board, who I believe are gonna be forced to do something about it. No matter what the town taxpayers or anybody else wants, this building is not the right building to be in anymore. Plus the fact that you don't have parking enough. I believe the next board is gonna be forced to do that. I sat in this room years ago when Kyle Rockwell reported that he had put $400,000 into a special building fund. I watched that thing meeting after meeting and year after year with nothing happening. It lay dormant. I was here at the meetings when the town board and the other one before, of course, it isn't just this town board, there were other boards in this office at that time. I sat here when the town board felt that it had gone long enough and that they had a moral and legal right to proceed with this. I'm not a lawyer. I don't know whether they did or whether they didn't. But I think they've done the best they could. And I guess that it's time to let the next crew find out where they're going from here. But they are going somewhere because they're going to be forced to do it.
Thank you, Skip. Margaret.
I read in the Canterbury Standard that Hank, a newly elected officer, thinks that the current board should not do anything, that they're obligated, was the word he used, not to do anything. These folks are in office until January the 1st, and they have to carry on the business of the town, whether the new people elected like it or not. January 1st, they'll have their turn. I have a second one, but I'll wait until.
You have plenty of time.
Wow, amazing. I haven't out-talked myself yet. I went to the, both of the meet and greet candidates, and a gentleman told me that the state of New Hampshire was different as far as registering vehicles. He told me that the 14 on the license plate meant that he bought it in 14 and it was good until 16. So I called the New York Department of Motor Vehicles in Vermont and New Hampshire, and that is not correct. It has to have a sticker on it that says 16. I don't like to be lied to, and when I'm lied to, I try to figure out why the person did that. It's now been fixed. What would have happened if I hadn't spoke up and told many people that I didn't feel that this was right for a candidate running for office not to abide the law in the town and state in which he's trying to serve?
Any other comments?
Not tonight.
Paul?
Thank you for recognizing the Madam Supervisor. My name is Paul Spencer. I live on Brower Road, the town of Palatine. I prepared a statement tonight, which I'm going to read to you tonight. November 18th, 2015. After many hours of contemplation trying to decide how to approach this council and their attorney this evening regarding your post-election actions, a quote from Alexander Pope came to mind. No one should be ashamed to admit that they are wrong, which is but saying, in other words, we are wiser today than we were yesterday. You have continuously been misled by Mr. Subic, who appears to have an agenda in seeing this town hall project through at all costs. Why? The outcome of this project should have no bearing on Mr. Subic, as he is not a resident or a business owner in the town of Palatine. I recently attended a board meeting of another Montgomery County township. The meeting room was packed. Approximately 150 people were there to voice their opinions and concerns regarding an issue within the town. For 2.5 hours, the residents took turns speaking, and at the end of the public comment, the board voted unanimously not to go forward with the issue, which also results in the incoming board not having it dropped in their laps. 4 years ago, with no major issues in the township, a little over 400 people showed up to vote. 2 weeks ago, another off-year election, well over 600 residents turned out at the polls. During the campaign, you said you've always listened to the residents. And a few months ago, a council member stated that if the residents did not like how the board was handling the new town hall building project, then they, and I quote, can vote us out. Well, guess what? They did. Your incompetence to do this project correctly and your inability to think for yourselves brought the majority of the residents together for one common goal: to remove you from office. 3 of you are on the way out. So why do you insist on going forward, railroading this project through? When are you truly going to listen to the residents instead of just saying that you do? By moving forward with any aspect of the new town hall project that you will not be able to see through to the end could be seen as an act of vengeance toward the town of the residents for voting you out of office and toward the incoming board because they were voted into office. I implore you to stop this madness and leave your position with some self-respect and a little dignity. Remember, actions speak louder than words. As for you, Mr. Subic, I, along with many other town residents, would like to see you resign from your position. But if you choose to remain, we would ask that you would stop interfering with the running of the meetings and apply yourself only to the legalities of the issues as they arise. The residents should not have to be subjected to your unprofessional behavior at every single meeting. Thank you for listening. Can I submit this?
Yes, please.
Your copy's in here. There we go.
Thank you.
I have one call. This is one for the minutes.
Any other comments?
Yeah, hi, my name's Chris Novak. I was at the last site plan review meeting, and it seems, unless my recollection is faulty, it seems there was no formal declaration, motion, anything made to submit the site plan to the county. Lo and behold, though, Bill Burr over at the county got the site plan, and when I went to the site plan review meeting, there were at least half a dozen items that were not filled out or correctly even answered. After the meeting, I had to point out a number of issues that weren't even, that were interpreted wrong. And I can't understand, when there was no motion made here, how that site plan ended up at the county. Now, thank goodness it will probably not be looked at tomorrow, but it just shows another, just another effort that things are not done completely and done coherently, and then still submitted. And now, who's paying for all that hours of time to submit that, and then the time and money that was wasted in preparing the papers? I just don't get it. If there was no motion made, it can't go to the county. And what's happening? I'd like an explanation of how it ended up there at Thursday at 3:48 p.m. Thank you.
Any other comments? Steve?
First of all, I would like to start by thanking the town council members for allowing me the chance to take care of the cleanliness of your building. It's been a pleasure working with and meeting you all. I would also like to thank you all for allowing this parolee a chance to show that not all of us that come out of the penal system remain bad people, but can be reformed. I've worked here a little over a year now, and as of recent, things have changed. Last 2 weeks has not been easy for me working here. On Wednesday, November 4th, 2015, ironically the day after elections, I came under attack by 4 people in this town because of something I posted on a Facebook website called Stop Palatine Spending. Since then, I have suffered being fired from work by Sarah Nicolai because I expressed my First Amendment rights, and was also accused of stalking Sarah to my parole officer, claiming that I called her over 50 times, even though she called me first, and after looking, really only called her 12 times. I have since been reinstated by the board, and after showing the evidence to my parole officer, he has informed me that I was clearly in the right with everything I did. Even though I know everything I did was right, I do have one apology to express. I would like to take this time to apologize to Mr. McGlone and the Spencers for calling them idiots in the website. It was obviously a poor choice of a word. My standards should have been higher than that. I apologize. With all that said, and all that has happened to me, Sarah will be starting a new office as of January 1st. So I'm hereby handing over the building key to Linda Logan that I have. I will only be working here on days Linda is here or other workers in this building. As of December 28th, 2015, I will also resign from working in this building. With everything that has happened in the past 2 weeks, my wife and I are in fear of my safety and freedom because we have no idea how far Sarah will carry this, and I, for one, am not going back to prison after 2 non-incident years of being out for something I did not do.
Thank you. Any other comments? Steve, you will need to talk to me.
And as I told you, my lawyers advised me not
You cannot be
to.
employed by this town and not talk to your supervisor. You
I
were,
will talk
you
to
were
one of the
terminated on
others.
November 6th, and you are not to report to work again.
You don't have that choice.
I do.
No,
you
the
don't.
board appointed him, Sarah, so it's a board decision.
Any other comments?
Oh, they can file.
I make a motion to close public comment.
So,
No other comments? Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Moving on to the minutes.
When are we gonna make some changes to the agenda? There's a few things missing.
What's missing from the agenda?
The justice report approval and approving of the abstract.
Right.
And also, I had asked for an executive session when we last met, and we agreed to put that on the agenda.
Executive session for what?
Personnel.
not see here the minutes from the last two meetings.
We had them last week. We had them in it.
The ones that you just sent out for the site plan review?
Yeah.
You didn't get it, so.
Oh, they're over there. I emailed them to you.
So let's start with the public hearing on the budget. Any changes? Any comments? Motion to approve it?
Make motion.
Well, where on the revenue does it show that, on the $30,000 for that grant? Does it show on here? Because it's revenue, correct?
I'm not sure if it's counted as revenue. I'm not sure when it's booked as revenue. I have to ask Kelly. But that's the, are you talking, okay, so
Yeah,
we're
no,
looking at
I
the,
just have a question about this, because before I think that we should approve the budget. I just
Oh, the
need to
budget
know what
this is just the.
I know. She asked a different question. I just need to know where, if it's on here so I can look at it.
I don't think it shows separately.
So where would it be in the general fund? Where would that be? Be in the general fund?
It wouldn't go into general fund, no, because it's restricted revenue.
So there should be something shown somewhere. That's all I want to know.
So it's in A3001 line, state aid revenue sharing, I believe. The estimated revenue is 18.7, but the receipts is 48,696, which is different of 30,000, so it makes sense that she would have put it there with the remaining of 29,996, which is really 30, and probably the difference comes from something else.
It's what, under,
I marked it.
thank you.
8330,
A3001.
I believe. I can check with her just to make sure.
I don't think there's
I can find out and get back to you about it.
Thank you.
I think I need a motion.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't think there was a second. You need the second?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? The next is the minutes of the regular meeting, October 28th, 2015.
of them.
I have a couple of changes. Here, on the third page, Supervisor Nicole said she had an objection to the attorney presenting resolutions the night of the meeting. She gavelled Attorney Subic as he was trying to explain things to the board. I gavelled Attorney Subic when he interrupted me as I was speaking.
On the third page, you said?
Mhm. So it should read, she gavelled Attorney Subic when he interrupted Supervisor Nicole as she was speaking. Further down, Supervisor Nicole gavelled Attorney Subic several times. This is after Chairman Telfer spoke. It says ruled him out of order for trying to comment on what Jim Telfer was accusing him of. It should read Supervisor Nicole gavelled Attorney Subic several times and ruled him out of for, let's see. That was her. It should be, when Attorney Subic spoke, Supervisor Nicole gavelled him out of order.
I thought we were still on the site plan, the public hearing one, I'm sorry. Third page or something.
But the point is, I did not rule him out of order for trying to comment. I ruled him out of order because he was out of order and speaking when he did not have the floor.
I wanted to also, under the planning board chairman Telfer's statement, I believe it's the last sentence. Jim said he and Marcy are looking to be removed from the planning board. I think it said, Jim said he feels he and Marcy may be removed from the planning board just because they signed an affidavit in the lawsuits. I don't want to speak for him. I don't know that it was, are looking to be removed. I don't know.
Well, what he said on the tape was he heard that they were looking to remove him.
I remember that part. He said he heard that members of the town board were looking to remove him.
I forgot the word heard.
From the last page, under A, Betty said people need to go stop the bullying. There needs to be a lie in there. And then under number 4A, I think it's supposed to say 10 years to build a building is absolutely absurd, not absurd.
Absurd, okay, all right.
And then on the last page, on a motion by Councilwoman Whitman, seconded by Councilman Becker, the board all voted aye to move forward to looking into the possibility of configuring a bench for Judge Geiger and remove the cubicle from the room.
What page is that?
That's the next to the last page, under the motion.
Oh, you got the right one there.
Looking
Second one.
into
Looking
the
into.
possibility to configure a bench.
for their continuation, looking into.
That's not my memory of what happened. The board, my memory is that the board voted to offer, to Judge Dygert the choice of moving into the main room.
Well, that's what, looking into the possibility, that's what I meant by that.
But we didn't look into the possibility of offering it to him. We said we'd offer it to him.
I just want to make it clear that it's not a done deal. It's been brought to his.
The board all voted aye to offer Judge Dygert the choice to move to the main room of the town hall.
Sorry.
It's sorry when you got 3.5 hours of minutes to do. Plus your regular work.
Yeah, I'll make the motion as amended or corrected.
Second.
This is for the regular meeting, October 28th. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay. My apologies, I confused things when I skipped the site plan review of November 9th. Right. So going back to that. I did have one change on this one. I did have one change on this one. Any changes? Additions, deletions, edits?
Last page on the second paragraph, under Attorney Subic,